with the prevailing conditions of coronavirus, I'm sitting here not teaching as I normally would be, so I thought I'd make a little video lesson and do a little shout out to some of my former students. Back a few years ago, I did a blues CD, and I tried to come up with some unique ideas for the blues, which is hard to do since so many things have been used. And I had this idea for a song I called "DownTo The River," where I did just use 2 chords. So this song is accessible to beginners or advanced students, and you'll see what I did here. It's not a true blues in the exact sense, which you'll see, but it is a blues progression. And anyways, the progression goes like this. And if you're a beginner, this would be very easy because you only need an E chord and an A chord. Some people play their A like this, whatever. It's an open A chord. This is an E chord and that's an A chord. What I did with this progression, I was just toying around with this idea, and I came up with something I found to be very unique. It's not unique in that it's been done before, but I couldn't find another blues that did this. So what I did is I took the E and then I moved it out to the 4th fret, back a fret, and then back to E. Actually, I toyed with the idea of moving it all the way down by going 1st fret, 4th fret, 3rd fret, 2nd fret, and it would come out like this, which sounded pretty good. Now notice, beside hitting the open E for the beginners out there, I'm actually hitting all the strings with it. So when I go out to the 4th fret, I'm still hitting all the open strings with my E chord, but I'm only holding 1 chord. I finally decided on just this. I'll slow that down a little bit, and for those that didn't see quite what I did. A lot of it has to do with this. This right hand motion comes up into play in a lot of songs, funk tunes. You got to kind of get your hand going in 16th notes, 1E and the 2E, and just a constant rhythm like that if you don't know what 16th notes are. And the rhythm comes from actually keeping that going, and down here we're doing some muting and accents, so it comes out like this. So my hand is doing this constantly. So what makes this a blues is I then went, after the appropriate amount of time, I went to the 4 chord, which is A, and I did it. And then, is what happens with the blues, I went back to the 1 chord. Now, we're time for the turnaround, which normally would be in the key of E. A blues would have a B. I just took this chord out to the 4th fret, and I moved it right straight down this time, and right back home to the E. So this song is kind of a blues in E. It has just these 2 chord forms, E and A. I'll put a little challenge out there to some of my former students or any musicologists to guitar players often show each other things just visually, and they don't really necessarily think of the names of things, but I'll put a little challenge out to people. What would you call this? What would you call this? And if we did it here, what would you call this? I'll do a little shout out to some of my students all over the place. Dan Bliss out in Kansas City playing. Barry Bilderbeck, he's a professor of music in Idaho. Ray Ackerman, he's over in Ithaca, great person for high fidelity sound. He does a lot of things in that. He's done some sound for a lot of big name groups. Ron Cole, a great jazz guitar player, lives in Thailand. Jim Bachman, he's a teacher of music at a California school, Jim Bachman. These are all original people from this area. Spencer Sutherland, I don't know where the heck you are. He was a great talent. He travels all over the place, Spencer Sutherland. AJ Spadaro, just thought of him recently. He's down in New York City. I hope he's doing all right. But if any of these people see this, it'd be fun to have them comment on this. And anyways, I'm going to put this out to the people who enjoy this kind of thing. This is an E chord. What would you call it at the 4th fret if I play all the strings? What would you call it the 3rd fret? What would its name be at the 2nd fret? Same with the A. This is an A. You could technically call it A with the in the bass. Well, I'm only going to play it from the A down. And then go out to the 5th fret and play this chord. Same, the A chord from the 5th fret down, 5th string down. So these chords would have names. So anyways, I recorded this song, Down to the River, and on it I have the wonderful vocal stylings of Anna Dessa, Anne Seraphine, one of Central New York's greatest blues singers. She really did a great job in this, and that really made it, Duke Shanahan on slide, on dobro, playing slide. I had the idea of getting like a canned heat sound, because they did some things with flute. I'm playing flute on this. I played flute and bass on this, and on drums we have Ross Moe on drums. So I played bass and flute. Duke played guitar, and I think I did some rhythm guitar, and he did the lead guitar. But anyways, Duke does some wonderful sounds on this. I was trying for this canned heat sound, and a lot of people think it sounds like Jethro Tull because it's a rock thing with a flute. So whatever. So it's kind of a blues in E, and it's called Down to the River, and I'll show it to you with the recording. Duke Shanahan, yeah. Here it is. Let's see. Nice artwork by Peter Makowitz. Picture of me naked, if anybody wants that. Standing in the rain. I'm playing some flute here. So you can find that on Spotify. You can find it, if you want to download it, you can find it on iTunes. You can find it on YouTube and play along with it. So again, very simple blues. I've often used this little progression to get kind of a Spanish sound to do some jamming. And that shows up now and again in songs, but I've never quite heard of blues that did this. So whether I have something unique, I don't know. Somebody might find somebody did that, but I haven't heard that sound. So I have kind of an original blues in E, and there's just two chords. In E, go to the 4th fret, move down to the 3rd fret, back to the 2nd fret, and back to the 1st fret. And then A, do the same thing. Start at the 2nd fret and then just move right straight down. Again, the hard part probably for unseasoned players is just this rhythm would be a good thing to work at. Okay, there it is. So there's a little lesson for you. And again, for those people interested in the nomenclature of chords, it's always fun to try to name things like this. I believe that kind of thing is important. You can show your fellow guitar players what you're doing, but if you want to notate that or maybe express it to a piano player or write a chart for it, you might want to be able to come up with the names of those things. So it'd be interesting to see, have some comments from people, especially some of my old students, on what the names of those chords would be out there. Okay, I'll do some more of these lessons, and I hope you enjoy it. Send your comments to me, and if you enjoy this kind of thing, I have a lot to share after all the years I've been playing, and I'd be glad to share it with people. Since I'm basically unemployed right now, I still have the urge to teach, even if it's non-profit. So, okay, hope you enjoyed it. It's Bob Piorun. Let me know what you think.